What do people need to know about the Indiana Fever?
That we're taking over the world.
This is a clip from the Indiana, the latest advertising campaign for Fever campaign that is doing what the WNBA should have done a long time ago. Let me explain why Fever is the most popular ticket in all of basketball, and of course it's all because of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin has completely revolutionized the culture, excitement, and energy around the women's game. It's everything the WNBA dreamed of: fans, media attention, and ultimately cash. But rather than accepting it and leaning in, they of course fumbled it.
WNBA and women's basketball begging for attention for decades. They have gotten an opportunity, the likes of which we haven't seen. Caitlin Clark is a comet streaking across the night sky, and instead of embracing her star power, you know what they've done? They have decided they would rather be a tiny league that is getting a fraction of the attention it otherwise should be.
Media players and even the owners made fun of Caitlin Clark throughout her first season, and her fans suffered the same fate as the millions of new supporters, paving the way for higher wages. All WNBA players were informed that they were not watching the WNBA for the right reasons. You blew it. Well, the Fever aren't blowing it. They're leaning into the current fervor they're embracing, and they are positioning themselves not just like the hottest WNBA team, but as a franchise ready to take the world stage, and the WNBA is basically caught with its tail between its legs since their 41 national free agency hall broadcasts and the preseason game sellout. We've seen more of the Legends game and active players speaking up to give Caitlin credit for what she's done. And with the beginning of training camp and the new Fever team is gathered and looking on the court, there will be sharpness. A lot of going backwards by 2025. Let's get the training camp into the new campaign buzz and everything building toward what will be a massive history-making season. But first, smash that like button if you think the Fever are the world's team, not only the American team.
The Fever are a can't-get-enough global brand, arguably on par with the Lakers.
A few years ago, nobody would have believed you if you said a WNBA team would be as popular as a team in the NBA. Most people wouldn't even be aware of a WNBA team's name, but now the hype for the Indiana Fever could not be any bigger. It all starts with our creatine-chugging hero, Caitlin Clark.
Clark. Uh-oh. Buckled Clark's knees. Uh-oh. Boy, Enrique gave it to McCowan, who couldn't finish. Behind the back again for Clark. Give her another assist and a chance for...
She is the Big Bang moment. She's one of the most profitable athletes in the world. She is second in the NBA in terms of jersey sales, above LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Take a second and really think about how enormous that is, and due to her performance as a rookie, breaking 62 freaking records, the Fever front office knew they couldn't wait for a slow build. They had to level up.
New Fever head coach Stephanie White returns to Indiana with one of the most legendary basketball resumes in the history of the sport.
Their first step was ditching Christie sides and bringing in Coach of the Year. That Stephanie White became a top coach for their elite player, and with the Caitlin and Stephanie combo, as well as all-stars Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston still in the mix, the Fever became the destination for unsigned players.
Dewana Bonner has never scored 40 in a game. She could do it right there! 41 for Dewana Bonner!
Danielle Bonner, Sydney Carlson, and Natasha Howard-Hopt. On the Fever train, their veterans, leaders, and champions do something new. According to Caitlin's own admission, Fever did not have last season ad, and Sophie Sandpaper Cunningham makes a formidable team that many are predicting will challenge in order to win a championship, and the hype grew.
So, the Indiana Fever are America's team. We already knew that. You already knew that. Whether you're watching and don't like that, you have to admit to yourself that that's true.
There is no question about it. The Fever are America's team, but honestly, they are more than that. They're the world's team.
According to Sports Pro, Caitlin Clark is the fourth most marketable athlete in the world.
People are moving around internationally just to watch the Fever. Play has grown into an international brand, is precisely what Michael needs. Jordan did for the NBA.
He exploded the National Basketball Association. Magic and Larry elevated it, and Michael Jordan put a rocket up its ass.
But the insane part is the WNBA has not fully embraced it yet. In fact, a lot of players in the media have fought it. Instead of celebrating it, they try to downplay it. They try to dismiss Caitlyn's achievements despite everything that she has performed outside of the court. It is a bizarre situation because athletes no issue for teams outside of the WNBA. Recognizing her.
Do you see any comparisons in the way that she shoots to your keeper compared to the way you shoot? Do you see anything?
I saw somebody break down the release time, which is pretty much identical to mine. And then her just confidence. You can't help but watch when she plays, where she's shooting from, the range, the confidence, the flair, like she's a performer.
Additionally, it is bizarre how some people keep pushing the idea that the sole reason for her popularity is she being gaslight because of her skin color has been insane. They are trying to make people are skeptical of what they see with their own eyes is all-inclusive package.
Back, Benley the rebound. Here comes Clark, bouncing to back. Benley who lays it in.
Caitlyn is skilled, she is composed, she is likable, and she is a leader. It is not just one thing, it is everything. She possesses the ability and the presence that people naturally gravitate. Because of this, she is filling arenas and breaking viewership records, and she's only just begun. Just check out these clips from training camp. She's already in mid-season form, casually threading needles with ridiculous passes and knocking down half-court threes. Her skill isn't a privilege she's been given, it's the result of tireless effort. Past coaches like the Hawkeyes' Jan Jensen have said she's like Kobe Bryant in terms of her work ethic and winning mentality. Clearly that hasn't stopped in the pros. Just listen to how Stephanie White described her work ethic.
You've seen Caitlyn play a lot, but what's it been like to just pick her brain? And also to your point about grace and competitiveness, she walks that line probably in a bigger spotlight than most people.
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, one of the things that, I knew about her from afar, but just seeing it on a daily basis is the way she works. I mean, we talk about work ethic a lot, but work style is another thing. And she doesn't waste reps. She literally does embody that how you do anything is how you do everything, whether it's a ball handling drill or a shooting drill or setting screens. I mean, she approaches it with such a discipline that she doesn't waste time, and I appreciate that.
Yet despite being a fierce competitor, she still manages to enjoy the process, as you can see. In the way she plays, you can see it in the way she interacts with her teammates. She brings energy and joy to the court without even trying. She knows that she is under pressure and is aware of every move she makes is being watched, analyzed, and picked apart, but you would never know it by how she carries herself. She's calm, cool, and composed. Yet despite every act, Caitlyn Clark has taken hate. Still happens. Players and media are still calling her out, still throwing shade at her, still taking shots at the new fans she brought into the league.
Maybe I'll start with you, Kels, because Lord Jesus, your team and their fans,
Jesus,
they be getting up in everybody's business.
New fans are sucking the life out of the WNBA right now. It's just the truth.
This has been the most costly error for the league, and honestly, it has been overall bad luck because it smells of jealousy. Tennis legend Serena Williams offered probably the best explanation for the vitriol Caitlyn receives.
No matter what other people do, then if people are negative, it's because they can't do what you do, basically, and hopefully she'll continue to do what she's doing.
Instead of lamenting, the league should obviously be embracing it and making use of the news power fans. And that is where the Indiana Fever just put on a masterclass. Their new campaign, Now You Know, is about a movement. It's not just about a team getting ready to have a great season, and it's a way to compete for a championship. Statement. Their campaign positions them beyond the WNBA, claiming the leadership position the league, and its players will not concede.
From the court to the culture, we own the moment. We're not here to chase greatness. We're here to claim it.
Our road games sound like home games because our fans don't ask for permission to dominate.
According to the Fever's marketing team, the Now You Know campaign is about how the Indiana Fever are rewriting women's basketball's past and writing a brand new story that redefines women's culture sports both in the state of Indiana and around the world. The crucial part, they're the culture.
But you know what there was in the WNBA last year and the years prior? There was other storylines. There was joy. There was talk of competition.
The WNBA has been dead set on retaining the pre-Caitlyn culture where the league wasn't commercially successful, but there was more parity in terms of popularity. With Caitlyn, there were still popular players among existing fans, but all the new fans flocked to Caitlyn, creating a massive In balance, this is what the players and media couldn't handle. It was a shot to the ego, so they made excuses and insulted the new fans with this campaign. The Fever are doing the opposite. They are welcoming the new followers there. They are celebrating as they welcome them in.
And I'll tell you what, the new fans are not all negative, nasty people. They're truly not. The new fans are truly fans of this league. And through Caitlin Clark and others, they have become fans of more than just one player, more than just two players. They become fans of so many players and so many teams in this league. They have to be welcomed with open arms. We have to leave all of this stuff in last season. It has to be dead and buried.
These fans are not the problem, they're the future. They are the reason the league has a chance to hit a new level, and the Fever are constructing it crystal clear that everyone is invited to be part of this ride.
See this line here? And those who are new to the Fever. Not, oh, you know, you weren't here. You weren't here when we were winning 5 games in 2022. You weren't here when we were cutting Alana Smith, a freaking all-star level player. You weren't here when, you know, we were starting in the dark ages when we offered Katie Lou Samuelson that max contract. You probably don't even know who Tamika Catchings is. Doesn't matter. You know what? If these new fans stick, they'll learn about all that.
These fans are not the issue. They are the path forward. They are the reason the league has a chance to hit a new level, and the Fever are constructing it is abundantly clear that everyone invited to be part of this ride.
Cheryl Swoops, see you later.
The flu is here, completing everything. And it now appears like the league is trying to play catch-up. I don't know about you, but I've noticed a change in tone, which you can feel that the media, players, and even the league itself seem to finally realize what is at stake.
It's not good seeing people lose their jobs. However, if you're going against who is the biggest draw in the league, who is the biggest name in the league, as an employee of a team of the league, it's not going to work out well for you. Just like the podcast that Cheryl Swoops is on is now the other host. Yeah, Cheryl Swoops is still on a podcast, but no longer the one that's being promoted by the WNBA itself.
Cheryl Swoops resides in as the Dallas Wings, officially out. Broadcast analyst, she is also no longer the co-host of the newly rebranded The Women's Hoop Show, which many people thought was Caitlin Clark Hate Fest last year. And it does not stop there. Cindy Brunson, who likewise criticized Caitlin Clark likewise. The Fever organization has vanished from the Phoenix Mercury broadcasts. Now, I'm not saying the league did this, but it's interesting that 2 quote-unquote critics of Caitlin are no longer WNBA-approved airtime.
If we ever had teams have to get into larger arenas to play against a team, no, we have not. So if we have more eyeballs on the game and Caitlin Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television games? I think we have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat. And as we all get more opportunities, it just opens it up for everyone else. And I think Caitlin has said that even herself in certain interviews.
They may be a year behind, but you have to feel like the league has to have uncovered this straightforward fact that you cannot insult your best player, and you definitely cannot insult the fans who are filling your arenas, breaking your viewership records, and putting your Caitlin Clark's league on the global stage is the engine. Her fans are the fuel, and the league's entire future depends on. Lisa Leslie has spoken out about both this, calling on players to stop being so jealousy toward Caitlin.
People were so caught up in the logo threes and the highs of the 20 3-point attempts per game, which absolutely I understand that. Like, it was so much fun to watch, but I always said she could potentially be one of the best point guards to ever play in the WNBA.
And now it's almost like the players have been informed, because more and more acclaim is pouring in.
Clark trying to get around Mabry. Clark to the rim, reverses it home through the contact.
The new members of the Fever this offseason know exactly what the moment is. They are there to win, no question, but they know they have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to transform the women's game for decades to come. They have the chance to become the WNBA's version of the Bulls, the team that takes the league international, the team that becomes an international household name. You, based on last year's viewership figures, were off the charts. Just wait for the Fever's first game this year, and don't get me started on playoffs.
That's a pretty good team.
That was what made that team so good, you two? Outside Clark again.
Clark off the screen, finds some space, and there's a three.
Caitlin did this year, had 2 5 million viewers for her second playoff game, No Game, came close to that following the Fever's reversal by the Connecticut Sun in college. Caitlyn's final against South Carolina drew 9 million people usually watch the WNBA finals. Averages between 1 and 2 million viewers now. Imagine Caitlyn receiving the Fever to the finals, it could easily hit 10 million or more. Viewers are just waiting until Nike gets off their behinds and finally goes Allen on Caitlin Clark, the whatever Kate Force does. The Air Clarks, they call it. She will have the best-selling line of sportswear in women's sports history. I really hope Caitlyn was included in some royalties. That Nike deal for $28 million, because it is going to be massive.